Good, so welcome. My name's Jnanavaca. This is going to be week one of the Who Hates the Metta Bhavana course. What I want us to do this week is start by forgetting everything that we know about the Metta Bhavana practice. And in particular, I want us to let go of the cultivation of metta. I want us to, in a way, just learn how to be receptive to our experience. So it's going to be Metta Bhavana without the Bhavana. It might mean that there's Metta Bhavana without the metta as well. Anyway, we'll see how that goes. So what I want to emphasize first as a principle is that in any meditation practice, we have to start by being receptive to whatever's going on for us, to bring a sort of patient awareness, a gentle awareness to whatever's happening. So I want us to do the Metta Bhavana in the 5 stages, starting with ourselves, then the friend, the neutral person, the person we find difficult, then in the 5th stage, including all 4, and then expanding out to all beings. I want us to do that, but without trying to cultivate any metta. So for example, with ourselves, we start with ourselves. In this way of practicing, I just want us to see how we are, what's happening, particularly what's happening in our physical experience, what's happening in our body. The Sanskrit word for physical sensation is Vedana, and it implies just the basic sense experience that might be pleasant, it might be unpleasant, it might be neutral. It might be a subtle mixture of all 3 of those qualities. In particular, I want to emphasize staying in touch with the Vedana in our bellies and in the center of our chest. So how is it? Do I feel comfortable in my body? Do I feel a certain tightness and uncomfortableness? Or is it sort of all right and a bit neutral? How is it? What's the Vedana like? So if we can learn to just become aware of how we are without trying to change how we are, then that's the key to receptive awareness. So in the 2nd stage, we'll, for example, bring the friend to mind. As you do, you try and hold the friend in your mind, even in your heart, in your experience, as best you can. But then just notice, how is it that you've brought your friend to mind? How does it feel to have them in your mind? Particularly, how does it feel in your belly and around the center of your chest, around the heart center? See if you can stay with the subtle sensations in that region, in those regions, while also holding your friend in mind. And if your mind drifts off, that's fine. You just, when you notice, keep coming back. So don't assume that you'll be feeling metta for your friend. It might be that you bring them to mind, nothing much happens. Or you might bring them to mind and you find that actually you're irritated with your friend and there's some sort of ill will there. That's all good as well. Allow yourself to just be patient with whatever's in your experience. So you do that with your friend. You do that with your neutral person in the 3rd stage. In the 4th stage, you'll bring the difficult person to mind. And here, really be sort of gentle with your experience. So if you find yourself getting into ill will, resentment, hurt, whatever it is, see if you can stay with that without pushing that away. Later on, I'm going to talk about how to stay with difficult experience. But for now, all I want to say is that if you find yourself just getting into stories of ill will, blame, stories of blame about them, or indeed it could be about yourself, then try not to stay in those stories. See if you can let go of the story, but feel how it feels in your body. And if it's overwhelming, if you can't let go of the stories, then let go and choose somebody easier. Don't dwell in ill will. Don't dwell in sort of hatred. At the same time, don't try to Don't try and sort of censor what's happening for you. You're trying to bring just a kindly, receptive awareness to whatever's happening. And that might be uncomfortable in this stage particularly. In the last stage, of course, you're bringing all four of you to mind and then extending out, bringing more and more people to mind, but again, without trying to cultivate anything at all. See what it's like to just bring everybody, all beings to mind, hold them in mind, and see what happens.